Is there enough time left? Or has the sand run through the hourglass too quickly for regulator racing?
It's going to be tight. It's going to be really tight.
And it won't be easy to get by the likes of Washington or McDonald before you even can contemplate the battle with Rothberg for the win.
4.3 seconds was the gap across the stripe between Ellis and the Pro-Am leader, Justin Rothberg. Probably got 3.5 laps left to run here in this race. He's got over a second advantage per lap. He's got to clear those cars. How quickly he clears those cars to get to Rothberg will be the key. But it's not out of sight now.
Quite a story brewing in Pro as well, with random vandals. Up and down weekend at Circuit of the Americas, a couple of self-inflicted wounds, I think it's safe to say. But they're now 5.5 minutes away from sweeping the overall wins here at Sebring International Raceway. Washington goes wide. That is allowing Ellis to close in. Jeff Burton loving what he's seeing. Here comes his star, his ace up his sleeve. Philip Ellis now in the slipstream of the Porsche. This is for a spot on the podium.
Yeah, he can taste it. Jeff Burton can taste it. He can see what his mech can do. He knows what he's capable of. Philip Ellis runs up high. Can try and swing it down. Stoves it down the inside. Nothing that Washington to do about that. That was just class right there. Ellis knew that he wasn't going to be able to do it under normal circumstances. Had to just take and adopt a different line there and attacked him immediately. 3 laps to go. And the gap is getting smaller to the lead for this race in Pro-Am.
This is what Philip Ellis does. You turn him loose, and he runs them down. More often than not, he takes the car to the front of the field. Kenton Cook leading overall. Sedgwick doing a really good job to stay with him, running nearly identical lap times.
What a weekend for Kenton Cook. He's looking at 4 wins. Swept Pirelli GT4 with his teammate Kevin Bohm aboard the CrowdStrike Racing entry. And looking for 2 on the bounce here as well with his teammate Connor DeFilippi today.
How about this? Blake McDonald now has caught Justin Rothberg. We heard from Rothberg during the race, and he said in the back half of a stint, that's when the Corvette figures to come alive relative to the BMW. He's been able to catch him, and he needs to go and go now because Philip Ellis is getting closer with each passing corner.
And this has huge, I know I keep talking about championship, and we're still really kind of at the halfway point in the season, but this has huge championship implications. This is a big day in the points potentially. If we get a big swing here with Ellis getting around these guys in front of him.
Ellis's pace has been eye-popping, closing in on the top 2 in Pro-Am. The question is there enough time for Philip Ellis to track down the top 2? McDonald pushing that Corvette. You saw it twitch, looking for a little more grip than the Pirellis are willing to offer this deep into the run. And Ellis flashes those headlights as he gets closer and closer to the top 2.
2 laps to go here.
Leader across the start-finish line. Now here come the leaders in the Pro-Am class. Rothberg in the BMW, McDonald in the Corvette, and Ellis now as close as he has ever been. Just 1.6 seconds to the back of the second-place car.
Yeah, Rothberg needs 2 laps of his life right here. He's got to hang on. He's got to hope that Blake McDonald really fights Ellis when he gets to the tail end of that Corvette.
Yesterday, Regulator Racing scored a rare Race 1 podium. They were runners-up on their alternate strategy in Race 1, which requires a nice, clean race. They got one. Here in Race 2, they really needed help from a safety car intervention. Well, they got one of those as well. And that has brought Philip Ellis into the conversation here in the final quarter hour. Ellis gets closer. Rothberg continues to hang on as McDonald tracks him down halfway through this penultimate lap.
I anticipate you've been able to throw a blanket over these cars when they come to the stripe for the final time. Maybe even into turn 17, Ellis could be in position to start thinking about a move.
He might be there sooner than that, Cal. Jeff Burton exhales.
Rothberg digging deep. was the dynamic. If Ellis is able to get around McDonald, does it cost him any time and give Rothberg the opportunity? Rothberg kind of overslows the car there a little bit, loses a bit of ground. Ellis is right there trying to set a good clean exit, get a run on the Corvette down the Ullman Straight. Will he cut and paste the move that he did on Kyle Washington?
It was sweet when he did it a couple of laps ago on the Porsche driver. Sizing up the Corvette now. Philip Ellis, third in class from the back of the class, has run down the top two as the white flag waves. Ellis tucks it to the inside. McDonald gives him space, but Ellis cannot draw alongside, and that's allowed Rothberg to get free.
This is crucial for Justin Rothberg. He needs McDonald to defend. Ellis looks to the inside, it's not there. He's going to do the high sweep, try and cut across his bow here, and try and be in position for turn 3 into Christensen corner. Big moment there for Philip Ellis, nearly loses control of the Mercedes. Is he close enough to still get in there? He does, makes the move, but he lost ground to Rothberg. That was a huge moment there on the exit of turn 1.
The gap is now up over 3/4 of a second. Rothberg now needs to hang on for just over half a lap here at Sebring if he's going to get the win for Turner Motorsport. What a move from Philip Ellis, leaving it all on the line as he tried to get alongside the Corvette. This is the move down into turn 1, and watch the moment here at corner exit.
What a catch. He had to tighten his steering a little bit, otherwise he's going to run into the side of the Corvette. Huge moment, then just got back on the loud pedal and went on the attack mode into turn 3. Made the move stick. If he had stayed behind him, I think Rothberg may have had the victory in his hands, but right now it's going to be awfully tight.
Philip Ellis, who went from cold calling go-kart teams just trying to jumpstart a dream, has become one of the top GT pilots anywhere on the planet. Right now, though, his task is to run down Justin Rothberg, and it's easier said than done.
Problem for Rothberg, I don't think he has speed through turn 15. That's coming up next. He seems to overslow the car here a little bit. Right there. Watch the flow, the Mercedes right there. Does he stick it in now? Yes, he does. He goes for the lead. Side by side, the BMW is going to have the power down the straightaway. Ellis has got to go back on the attack in 17.
Philip Ellis took his shot. The battle will rage to Sunset Bend, but at the front of the field, Kenton Cook and Connor DeFilippi sweep the weekend for Random Vandals Racing. Here comes Justin Rothberg. Ellis lays back, trying to time his run through the final turn for the drag race to the line, but Justin Rothberg fends off the challenge for the Mercedes man. Rothberg and Foley take Turner to victory lane at Sebring. Coming of age moment for Justin Rothberg.
A wry smile from Jeff Burton. He claps his hands, but they thought they could have potentially got the win. He's the first man to go up and congratulate Turner Motorsport. That's a bit of class right there.